Dear viewers across the world, most welcome to my channel NAGA World Conflict Zone. Context: Daesh is defeated, but their brides are still an issue. The Daesh Caliphate in Iraq and Syria has vanished. The vast majority of its terrorists either killed or captured, and their threat largely neutralized. However, a new challenge has emerged. How should the international community deal with the women and children that are terrorists left behind? Are these women innocent or guilty? Should they face the same consequences as their captured husband or be forgotten? And most important, how hard will it be for these women to be welcomed and reintegrated into their communities? A documentary shown in May at the Human Rights Watch Film Festival in New York featured a 26-year-old American-born woman of Yemeni descent who chose to be part of one of the bloodiest terrorist groups that the world has seen. In 2014, Huda Mothana was a college student in Harvard, Alabama when she decided to run away to join the enemies who wanted to destroy the country she was born in and kill the people she grew up with. As soon as she arrived in Syria, Muthana became active on Twitter under the name @Uma Jihad, rejoiced in burning her US passport, and urged other jihadists to spill American blood and carry out terrorist attacks against innocent people. America deserves everything it has coming to it. By Allah, we will terrorize you until you submit to Sharia. This is a sample of Muthana's social media engagement while she was living in the promised Islamic State, where she was married to 3 Daesh fighters, all of whom were killed. Since 1920, Muthana and her family have been trying to secure her to return to the US with her 2-year-old son Adam, but she is barred from entering the country. According to the former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, despite having been born in the US, Muthana has no right to US citizenship because she is the daughter of a foreign diplomat. In the Western world, however, even terrorists have lawyers to fight for them, whitewash their betrayal and crimes, and portray them as a brainwashed innocent victim under the pretext of human rights, or in the case of Muthana's lawyer Hassan, simply to blame the racist mentality of former President Donald Trump. Simply resigned in January from his post as executive director of the Florida chapter of the Council on American Islamic relations following allegation of domestic abuse and sexual exploitations of women. He has close tie to American Islamist politicians such as Minnesota's representatives Ilhan Omar and chose to attack the Trump administration as a tactic to bring his client back into the country. However, Hoda Musana case is not unique. Thousands of women and children from more than 50 countries were left behind in camps in Syria and Iraq. These women are not innocent brides who were kidnapped from their homes and forced into sexual slavery. On the contrary, they chose to join these terrorist organizations and do whatever it asked of them, including bearing children. They should face the consequences of their choice and be held accountable for their actions. They are terrorists and should be treated accordingly. Since it is difficult to accurately record what crimes these women have committed and the extent of their radicalizations, countries with reliable justice systems should allow them to return and be put on trial. Behind bars, they could go through therapy and rehabilitation program to limit the threat of bringing back their radical ideologies and spreading them without their communities. Meanwhile, international commissions should be formed by the member of the global coalitions to ensure that no female terrorist can run free and hide in countries with less strict rules when it comes to terrorism. There is a still long road ahead, but we must always remember that these women were not brides, simply terrorists.